is Sunday afternoon, October the 11th, and I'm flying solo tonight. Pretty windy, as you can probably hear in the background, but that's partially why I'm here, because of the wind. We're getting into that period that they call the October lull, and the deal with that is it's not a lull in movement. It's really a transition into how deer move and where they move. And that's pretty much what I rely on to kick off my hunting. So it may sound weird that I say the lull is what I look forward to, but it's the truth. So I gotta talk pretty quietly here, but because I just had 7 or 8 deer. Why do I say the October lull is the part where I really get excited and start to hunt? It's because that's when I can finally figure out what it is that I'm actually hunting this year. You know, everybody in most outdoor media, I won't say everybody, you read about, you see on TV, the importance of that summertime scouting. And I'm not denying that summertime scouting is important, but it's only important where it matters. Where I hunt, it does not matter. There are so many guys that I see in the summer that have trail cam pictures of really nice bucks, that they've seen nice bucks in fields when they're glassing and scouting from afar. I've done it. They almost never kill those deer. This particular piece that I'm hunting today is my best Michigan spot. It's where I feel like I have my best chance at killing a buck over 3 years old. And I've killed 2 here in, 10 or 12 years. Neither of those bucks did I have any pictures or any sightings prior to mid-October. And that was back when I was really heavy into the summer scouting, glassing the fields at the evenings in August. The conclusion I came to is those bucks aren't here. They're in better habitat, better summer range. And yes, there is a summer and a fall range. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about defining what the October lull actually is and how I use it to determine what I'm going to do the rest of the season. I've heard the lull described as a transition period where the deer start to change from a summer pattern to a fall pattern, where it's a change in food source. Both of those things are true in my opinion. What the lull really means to me is it's when the deer respond to the hunting pressure and they vacate the areas that they were living in, and they relocate to those areas that are offering them security. That's why today is October 11th, and this is my first time in a tree stand. It's also why I'm hunting on the windiest day we've had in October. It's also why I'm hunting in an area where I can get in and out quickly, because I'm not trying to really kill the deer so much as see if what is happening is what I think is happening. I will really start monitoring my trail cameras now, because now I'm going to see what bucks have relocated. And when I find where they've relocated, I think they'll stay there, because there's a certain point in the fall where they gotta stop moving around and they gotta start laying down sign and they gotta start preparing for the rut. And they're not gonna do that where they've been pressured. They're gonna do that where they move to. My job over the next 7 to 10 days is find where they've moved to. Well, we've skipped forward a few days. So what you just saw were two bucks on their feet, broad daylight, and that's supposedly the start of the October lull, when the deer don't move and the big ones don't show up. And I didn't shoot either one of them for a couple reasons. The first, the 8-point that comes by, I thought was a 3-year-old, and he's not old enough. The second deer is, I think, plenty old enough. I had a 10-point last year that I could have shot several times, and I wanted to give him one more year to see if he'd blow up, because as a 3-year-old, possibly a 4-year-old, he wasn't very big. Then last year is either a 4 or a 5-year-old. He didn't grow at all. So I had another deer that I was trying to hunt, let him go, figured I'd see what he'd blow up into this year, and if this is the same deer, he didn't grow at all. In fact, he went backwards. So I'm going to try to get my son Noah on that deer, and I'm going to try to find a bigger one to hunt. Once again, it's the lull. It's the October lull, and I'm really getting ramped up right now because I'm starting to find the deer that I want to hunt, which goes against everything you've probably read or seen, that the lull is really bad. For me, it's the best time to figure out where the deer are that I want to hunt building up to the peak of the rut. So it's a perfect morning, but I haven't seen any deer. But I've got one really old, heavy, fat 10-pointer here that I'm after. So I'm going to sit out the morning, and then I'm going to go back to the same spot tonight that I was where those 2 bucks came out with Noah, and maybe we'll put a cap on this whole October lull business. We've got maybe 30 minutes of daylight left, and the buck that we're hunting just came out of this thick area. But we had a half dozen does and fawns pretty much right under the tree. They didn't like being right under the tree, so they're getting all goofy. And they went back in. He walked off, but he's not spooked. So here's the deal. We're hoping he comes back out. But if he doesn't, I know where that deer is. I know what he's doing. And we're gonna kill him sooner or later.